Derek Hanson here with Bison linebacker Peder Haugo, and just talk a little bit about the fact that, man, time flies. I was just calling games for you just a couple blocks from here at Fargo North. It's got to be fun to always be playing football here in this neck of the woods, huh?
Yeah, it's a pretty cool experience to be playing college football and high school football, 2 blocks apart. And my last high school football game ever was on this same field. So it hasn't been too long since my last high school game was here, and it's a pretty cool experience to play in front of my high school home crowd and around a bunch of family and friends all the time. So.
Well, and with that, we were kind of talking earlier, it's fun to see the local flair around here. I mean, obviously with some of the young tight ends that are certainly within the EDC, and Caden Zenzen from my hometown of Barnesville, and then, of course, Oliver, he gets his big interception coming up. I mean, it's got to be fun for you guys, right?
Yeah, it's really awesome to see, a bunch of Fargo guys having some good playing time this year. Like Reese is making some big catches.
Yes.
Oliver had a big interception on Saturday. I'm getting some good reps, so it's definitely cool to see the Fargo guys, playing some quality minutes and contributing to the team. So.
Well, and I think it goes into what, I've always said NDSU's kind of been in that reload, not rebuild thing, and it kind of takes you guys to do that, right? And to see some of the guys that are maybe in the NFL or the career has just finished up, that here's our time to shine.
Yeah, it's a program built on homegrown kids, and there's a lot of quality talent coming out of North Dakota, so they like to retain some of the best players from the state, and I think they've done a great job of retaining us. So
you look at last week, I thought DJ Williams was, I kind of thought he was like a 6'3" Kyler Murray back there. I mean, a much bigger version of that water bug quarterback. It started to get old. I'm sure you guys knew that going in. It was really something to see firsthand, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's a dynamic athlete. They had a bunch of athletes around him, so it was cool to watch their offense throughout the week just to see how dynamic they were, and it was even awesome, or even better, to see us shut down an amazing offense like that and only hold them to 17 points. So.
Well, it was a little nip and tuck early, and they made some plays, but it's just amazing. Turnovers, how much you guys stress on that in practice? Because it is the ultimate, game changer if you guys can start getting takeaways, and that's really been the case for you. And your offense hasn't been giving the ball away at all. So. Yeah,
Coach Olson and Coach Polsek really stressed the turnover margin, so there's always a competition between the offense and the defense. See if the defense can get some turnovers from the offense in practice, and if the offense can, keep them off the board. So. Gio does a really good job of, making the linebackers aware of, punching at the ball for making tackles in practice or high pointing the ball if it's in the air. So.
You might see a multiple, the Sycamores have a couple of quarterbacks. I know you kind of maybe are stressing on one a little bit. That's what Coach Polsek said in his press conference this week. But it's got to bring a lot of different things to the film room here to kind of prepare for a lot of different things, right?
Yeah, definitely a different aspect, watching different film from different weeks. But, we just got to go and respect our opponent and, make sure that we get the job done.
Getting back to the local flair of things, I'm old enough to remember seeing highlights of your father and uncle of the old Waban Bombers. A lot of people may not realize that, but I'm from the Minnesota side of the river. You're from a football family. This has got to be fun for everyone involved for you, right? Yeah,
it's awesome. I have oftentimes 15 family members at the game on Saturday, so they love coming to the games, they love watching football. They're pretty involved with high school sports still, so it's awesome to have a big football family behind me.
Well, if you want to hear the stories about your dad and uncle running over people, I can tell you about it a little bit. We were a little higher class, but the highlights were real, with Dana and Ed Schultz doing the highlight package. I'm sure you hear the stories once in a while, right?
Oh, we hear them all the time. At Christmas or Thanksgiving, they're giving each other crap and talking about the old days back in Concordia or back in high school. So it's awesome to hear.
Well, fun to see you out there. Good luck with the rest of the season. Good luck against Indiana State coming up here on Saturday.
Thank you very much.
All right.